Bitcoin and cryptocurrency has been falling every single week, and it feels like it's been going on forever. What we are going to see in this video are my price targets for what I think is going to be the bottom of this market. Again, nobody knows, but we can use some analysis as well as what some experts are saying around where those prices may be and why we've exactly crashed to these levels. If you are interested, keep watching. Hey guys, my name's Ravi and welcome back to Personal Finance with Ravi Sharma. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button because I talk about real estate, cryptocurrency, and financial freedom. Now, currently Bitcoin is trading below 20,000 USD. We've seen a low of about 17,500 USD, and since then we've been sort of going up. We went up to about 21, 22, and now we've come back at just above $19,000. So we're sort of sitting there scratching our heads going, one, why did this even happen? And two, is it all over? Number three is when am I buying and how am I buying? So let's jump into why this has actually happened. Now, what we have seen are global stocks as well as the cryptocurrency market fall. And that's been a result of the war in Ukraine, inflationary fears, and that inflation has led to higher interest rates. Now, the Fed increased their rates and they've been continuing to increase their rates. We have a very important date coming up, and that's the 28th of July. That is when we are officially going to find out that the US is printing a recession. And what that is 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth. Now, we've already seen sort of the numbers, all the expectations are pointing to the fact that yes, we are officially in a recession in the US, but until that number gets printed officially on the 28th of July,
we're just going to pretend like it's not. Okay.
Now, in addition to all of this, we've had some really unnecessary behavior going on in crypto, which is basically to do with leverage. Now, when you've got leverage, you've also got the risk of liquidations, and that's pretty much what's happened. We had Terra Luna go basically crashed 99% down, and that's gone on to trigger mass liquidity issues across a few other platforms. And the latest slump in June 2022 was due to Celsius Network. Now, on this channel, I've actually been a fan of Celsius. I use it myself, and I've got some funds still stuck in Celsius, so you're not alone if you're thinking, when am I going to get my funds? Fortunately, they are doing things in the background, but I know they've lost a lot of trust. I've actually spoken to Alex, who is the founder of the company, and he seemed to be a really genuine dude. So I'm not sure what's going on in the background. They've used people's money to go and invest into higher risk assets, and when the liquidity stops and there's not enough of it, they've had to go and pause the deposits and withdrawals. And this is not a good sign. It's basically the equivalent of a bank run. So when you go to the bank and let's say 10 of us decide to go to the bank and say, I want $200,000 out of my bank account today, they're going to come to you and say, we can't do that because they don't carry that sort of cash around. And if we suddenly have a lot of people do that, we're going to have the banks run out of money effectively because they're creating money out of nothing. Seems to be at this point like a Ponzi scheme, right? Now, what we have found out and realized during this crypto crash is that everything is connected. Interconnected are the lending platforms to the exchanges, and that's why people say, not your keys, not your coins. There's a video here that I made on my other NFT channel, which talks about the step-by-step guide on how you get your ledger and then put crypto into it. So it could be crypto like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins, as well as your NFT. So definitely go check that out. You need to keep your crypto safe, and you just never know what's going to happen. Now, in addition to Terra Luna going down, as well as Celsius going down, for now, we've then had crypto hedge fund 3 Arrows Capital now filing for bankruptcy. This is absolutely crazy, and it's all due to the fact that everything is interconnected. As a result of this, we've now had news come out that BlockFi is now struggling with liquidity issues. On the back of that, we've also had Voyager come out and say they're going to pause all deposits and withdrawals because they've got liquidity issues. Now, yes, the CEO of FTX has come out. Sam has said, look, I'm going to lend you some money, I'm going to lend you some more, and then I'm just going to buy you out, right? That's pretty much what's happening in the background. Any of the good operators that are out there are going to come in, sweep in, and take as much as they can of the pie right now. Now, the effect of all of these things happening is it's damn scary. The fear at the moment is at all-time highs. It's been here for so long. It seems like extreme fear all the time. And when we have a look at fear and greed index over time, we can see over the last 3 months, we've pretty much been in extreme fear, and that's unheard of for this period of time. If we go and zoom out for a year, this is the low and the extreme fears we've been facing since pretty much the start of May. Now, if you want context, we go back and we see, well, in April, we were pretty much at 70 to 80, which is pretty much greedy, right? Now, if we really zoom out and we see over time since 2018, we know that the crash actually happened for 2018, our last bull market, wasn't around the end of 2018. And you can see, even at points of the low of that bear market, we spent less time there than we are right now. This is the first time time Bitcoin's going to test its waters during a recessionary time. It came out at the end of the last recession, being around the GFC time, and since then it's been a raging bull market. Yes, we've had some volatility, some markets going down, some markets going up, but never a recession. And yes, we may have just slipped into one in 2020 during the COVID crash, but for now, this is looking more scarier, less confidence in the market than we've seen ever before. So it's going to be very interesting to see who sticks around during this next 6 to 12 months and which projects are actually going to continue building. So that brings me to knowing when to buy, how to buy, and what am I doing right now? Well, I made a previous video and you can check that out here. There's a lot of valuable information there where I was sort of looking at where the floor for this price would be. Now I said in that video between 20,000 and 23,000 USD. At that point, I'm going to go in and I'm going to buy quite a bit of crypto. Now I did go and follow that plan and I bought 2 Bitcoin. Fantastic. But since then the prices have gone lower. And this is the importance of dollar cost averaging. If I went in and I spent all of my money to buy those 2 Bitcoin, well, I've got no ammunition now. And if we see the prices drop further, I'm pretty much going to have to sit on my hands and do nothing. Fortunately for me, that wasn't all the funds that I've got. I've got more funds set aside for buying continuously over the next 6 months. So instead of going in and buying everything in the upfront, I've gone and spread that out and said, well, you know what? I'm going to dynamic dollar cost average and go in a bit harder if I believe we are oversold. And at that point, it did seem like it was oversold and we did have a bounce. I didn't sell because now I'm in accumulation mode. Now, an indicator that I've spoken about on this channel in that video specifically was the MVRVZ indicator. Now this has been very accurate. We normally find the bottom where the market cap is less than the realized cap by around 30%. Now at the moment that is showing on Bitcoin around 15,600. Are we going to get as low as 15,600? Maybe 16,000, maybe even go and test the previous lows of 17,500. I believe that's probably where we're going to head towards. Other indicators are now pointing that yes, maybe the bottom is in, but either way, I am of the belief that we are not going to see some sort of V-shaped recovery and feel like I'm going to miss out on the next run. For me, it's all about dollar cost averaging right now and during the bear that we're going to see for at least the next 12 months. And it's very hard for some people to sort of understand that 12 months is not a long time, but it's also a very long time. When you're in crypto, it feels like it is the world. If you then go into NFTs, it feels like it's even worse. So for me right now, I'm going in dollar cost averaging through a couple of means. My first way of dollar cost averaging into this market is through CoinSpot. On CoinSpot, I can set a reoccurring buy, and on that platform, I can go in and purchase ongoing certain amount of crypto that I want to. So if you want to check out how you can set that up for yourself, you can definitely go check out this video. If you're new and you don't know anything about crypto, as well as you want to get started on an exchange, definitely go check out the link in the description below. You get $10 of free Bitcoin when you sign up to CoinSpot as well. It's by far the most user-friendly, especially when you get started in crypto. So definitely go check that out. Now, the other way that I do it is through the Bamboo app. Now, this for me is like a real set and forget. I spend money, going out, going to have coffees, as well as going to have, dinners out. And what this app does is very cool. It's that it basically goes and micro invests my money into crypto. And for me, I want to go into Bitcoin and Ethereum. They're pretty much the ones that I want to hold long term. Do I see the prices for these assets going down further over the immediate future? Yeah, probably. But for me, it's important to just keep accumulating. If we look back at the last bear market, I don't think many people would have cared if they bought at $3,000 instead of buying at $1,500. Yes, it's still a 50% haircut, but when you go and zoom out and you fast forward 5 years, the value of that same Bitcoin that you bought for $3,000 or for $1,500 is now worth close to $20,000. So time in this market is going to be very important. So many people are going to get left behind because they're going to think it can go lower and lower and lower before we realize that we've seen the end of the bear market and we've started going back up. And then you have the revenge trade and you start buying on the way up. And in most cases will lead to people losing money. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. You can't take any of this as financial advice. You know that crypto is very volatile. Could we see the entire market drop by another 30 or 40%? I believe we could, and it's probably going to be felt more in the altcoins. Right now, I'm more Bitcoin heavy. If you are after more updates as to what I'm doing, how I'm doing it on a daily basis, definitely go check me out on Patreon. There's a link in the description below to join the community. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks, guys.